my fellow comic book collectors. It's Alan, the comic collector geek, and I'm joined with my sidekick, my you
Quit
know,
kicking me.
sorry, I keep on kicking you. The guy with the slightly lesser collection.
Oh, and so we're gonna go there.
No, you before we started this. He's like, you're gonna lose if you compete with me. He's like totally trash talking me before we
Now,
started this
ladies and
video.
gentlemen, understand. Alan's gonna get to his pitch. I was watching their Suddenly Comics and Alan doing their Silver Age information, which is great. And we were
Hmm.
talking about Astro Boy, which I showed. I showed you my
Hmm.
Astro Boy, and then the
Yep,
March of
we
Comics,
were
which
talking
is
about that.
absolutely hen's teeth. And then Mark made the comment, "Oh, of course, Stevens' collection. Very happy to have it there. It's one of the finest collections in the world. Don't you
He
agree?"
doesn't talk
I
like
thought
that.
I thought Alan was going to choke on his tongue, and
Yeah, so
competitive we are.
yeah, I know. The way I see it is my collection is like a vast ocean. Yours is the deepness of that ocean.
I see. I see. I'm sunk below you
Hmm.
in every way. I thought.
Hmm.
Oh
Well, yeah,
yes.
I think you have better grades, and mine are more just I have everything, but it's not the best grades.
You are certainly, of course, again, and I mean this in all sincerity, a completist
Hmm.
collection is exactly that. And to
Hmm.
be a completist is an incredibly tough thing to do. My first collection was a completist collection, but in fairness, it was Silver Age, not Golden Age.
Yeah,
And to
yeah.
have Alan be also Silver Age and Golden Age completist both is an enormous challenge to do.
Hmm.
And it's just, and he does it with great aplomb.
Yeah. So, aplomb aside, this video is actually going to show you kind of how to do golden age collecting on a budget.
Hmm.
Like I see people spending like $100 or $200 on a modern age book, and I'm like, you could pick up so much stuff with that same amount
Hmm.
of money.
Hmm.
And that's really what I want
In
to
Golden
showcase.
Age,
Yeah,
in
golden age.
Golden
I mean,
Age,
golden
yeah.
age. Yeah.
Hmm.
So there's a lot of really cool stuff that's actually pretty affordable. I'm going to show you some pretty big names that are affordable, like LB Cole stuff, and some Good Girl and some crime. I didn't bring any horror. I kind of wish I had some horror to show, but pre-code
Well,
horror is actually
the
expensive.
horror,
It's
and of
actually expensive.
course the your point about it, it is grade centric, especially when you're
Hmm.
dealing with books of this nature. And so it's like you say, well, I have to have a floor level of 8.0. Hello, if I have to
It's
have
not
a
going to
you have
happen. You get two
what's that?
books,
I
maybe.
mean, you
You,
might as well relax because there ain't none. I mean, you just
yeah.
have to understand what you're dealing with too. So
Actually, I could have brought. There was one book I was thinking of bringing, and I think
sure.
I paid $75. That's why I didn't bring it. Oh, is Sue going to make an intro?
Here she comes. Here she comes.
Hi. I don't know
Hey,
if you
hey,
can
Sue.
see me or not.
Oh, get a little closer. There you
But
go.
You're going
hi.
out?
I just got back from the grocery store.
Oh, okay, cool.
The weather here is absolutely, thank you, dear. The weather here is absolutely from bright sunshine to absolute deluge. I mean,
Hmm.
black skies, and then the wind comes up. And I'm here to tell you, but thank God it's not snow. If it was snow, we would be
Yeah.
in Ottawa.
Yeah, well, snow, we have lots of it here. We can give you some if you want. I mean, we got
Oh,
plenty.
no, 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 no. Don't
We
feel
can just
no
ship it over there.
compunction, my
Get
friend.
rid of it. Okay, so tonight's theme, just to get into it a bit,
Hmm.
is really affordable golden age, uh, but still cool. Like I don't want to just show, oh, here's a crappy book, covers falling off and it's turning into dust. It's not going to be that. It's going to be cool books that are affordable. So that's really the theme that we're going with.
Hmm.
When I talked about this theme last week with you, Stephen, you were like, "Oh, that's impossible. You can't really. There's nothing that's under $50." But then over the weekend, Steven bought like a collection, which I think he's going to show tonight.
I am.
That is all way under $50 each, and it's actually pretty awesome collection. So
Thank you.
it's like so it could have been one of those steals of the week, like steals of a lifetime, because he did pick up a really awesome collection, all like dirt cheap. Like I think the person, did they list it wrong or something? What did they do? It was just
No,
like,
I honestly think that it was an attempt to get rid of something. And When it's my turn, I will explain what happened, and
Hmm.
you figure into the equation.
Yeah, cool, cool. I like when I figure in. Okay. I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to quickly say hi to the chat. Hi, chat.
Oh God, and thank God. If your doppelgangers, if you don't say that, then I know someone
It's my
has
dad joke.
definitely taken the pod has taken over.
It's like I have to do that joke. It's nobody even realizes it's a joke. It's that funny.
It it
Um,
just it just everyone is just stunned.
mhm. So yeah. So hi Mark Mueller.
Mr. Mueller,
Hey K Munin.
the scoffer.
Hi Eric.
Eric,
Hi Matt likes comics.
Big Matt,
And Thomas.
oh Donald,
And then we got Lau
hello Lau,
and Buttface McBooby.
and
I,
Hal.
I and then we have JX
Hi JX,
and Big Lyle,
Big Lyle,
Big Nasty.
Big Nasty, lots of big going on here. Big
Yeah.
Bleaker,
Bleeker. Hey Bleeker. And did I do K Munin?
you did.
I did. And
We
we
have
got
Fiddle Chips,
I'm getting there. Fiddle Chips and JX
Jerry Chick,
and who else? And Jerry Chick and then Chunko.
Chonko,
Wait, no, I just clicked that by accident. One sec. And then Ben.
Mr. Compton.
And that's it. We got everyone. Okay, so I said hi to
Good
everybody.
evening, everyone.
Let's get right into the books. We got a lot to show,
Yeah.
and let's go with it.
Okay, I'll go. Ladies and gentlemen, uh, I used a method which my friend Alan has used before and has talked about with everyone a couple of times when chasing after Golden Age books. And what you do is you go on eBay and you go on Golden Age and you put lowest first. Now, what you can also do if you're sophisticated, you can actually put a price. You can give the price range from $10 to
Mm-hmm.
$50 or
Yeah, yeah.
$60. And then you can go highest first or lowest first. And then you can see what is available. And you'll be stunned how much stuff
Is
there
available.
is. And so what I did was I did exactly that. And I came across a set of a character called Kerry Drake, who was the Archie version of Dick Tracy. Dick Tracy, long-standing Dick Tracy. And so I just wanted to point out in the Golden Age, before Superman came, and in the 1930s, in 1935, about when New Funnies came out, the very first comic book per se. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
talking about Mutt and Jeff with a bound, hard cardboard case,
Yeah,
fancy
yeah,
Babara the elephant or whatever those are, the yellow kid and that stuff, which is more Victorian platinum. But I'm talking about pre Superman, pre Golden Age stuff. And what happened is organized crime was going crazy. And I mean, it was like the roaring 20s were going into the 30s, and Capone and organized crime was going full tilt. And so one of the genres that the Golden Age did was crime comics. Now they had Western stuff in there as well. And a lot of times you'd get one color story, and then you get maybe a duotone story, and then some of them are just plain in black and white. And that's
Oh,
just the way they
really?
were back then. So you have things like G-Men and Gangbusters and Radio Squad and any number of crime strips that they did, and a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the early detectives and actions. I mean, and they had crime themes in them because crime was very prevalent, and superheroes, of course, were the exemplars to fight crime, and that was the whole basis, and one of the best bases that where us puny humans could not get a handle on getting rid of the evil. And by having superheroes come in, it not necessarily vigilante, but what it was bringing crime to justice. And of course, all of the headlines and the St. Valentine's Day Massacre and all that other stuff. So there are different genres that are pre superhero that were very prevalent then. And there were cartoony things like Popeye and Thimble Theater, and a lot of there were cartoony things too. So in the groups of books that are available, then those genres are the ones that you will run into, and they're not all created equal, but they are very, very interesting, and they are accessible. And so I'm going to save the Kerry Drakes because I haven't shown those yet. But here recently, I also, and this also is somewhat different for me, but on foreign comic books. Now, I have somewhat have been Reggie Upsnoot about foreign comic books. But I have to say that Superior Comics in Canada is an outstanding title, and I have a
Yeah,
lot. I love it. I
lots of great
really,
stuff.
really love that, and a lot of the Iger House of Art and Jack Kamen and stuff, and the fact that they were scofflaws and they weren't supposed to be producing books and sending them to us. By God, they just did it anyway, corrupting American youth. It was wonderful. Anyway, so but what I found was I was looking for a book that Alan had bought, a Dick Tracy, and all of a sudden I got hooked into a guy in Mexico City who had a whole bunch of 1949 to 1952 Dick Tracy's. And they're a little bit bigger than the American version, and they're different. The covers are somewhat different, and they're considerably more violent. And so I I wanted to start with my Dick Tracy's. These are I have one that's not a Mexican version, but these were the Mexican versions of the Dick Tracy's.
There's actually an American version that has the exact same cover
And
as that as well.
there are quite a few that have the same cover, and this one, of course, is a comic that Joe
Is that the
Black.
Mexican one or is that
No, no,
the
no. This
American
is the
one?
American.
Yeah.
This is the one that's the American. Joe Black Box Silver and Bronze turned both Alan and I onto this, and I instantly went out to get it. It is the wildest, most amazing Dick Tracy cover, truly, that I have found. There's a lot of good ones too, but with Tracy on fire and Tess blown up,
I mean, his hair is literally on
his
fire.
hair is on fire, and she's got blackened eyes from the concussion of the explosion where they tried to blow him up. They were in bed above, and then the thing blew up, and up they went with it and on fire. It's just, and the interior of the book, I just posted this on Instagram, so you can actually look inside and see the actual story.
Cool.
This one, this one is one of my absolute favorites. Um, this one, Spanish, Mexican, El Super Detective. And here's a guy shooting himself right through the eye.
Yeah, it's
And
brutal.
all of these
The
Dick
bullet actually
Tracy's,
goes through. Like it
I
actually.
know, straight on through.
Yeah.
And I think that bajese means watch out. And he didn't. But it's just all of this. There's just look at, and this was under $50. These were $35 a throw. These Dick
Hmm.
Tracy's. Okay, and again, this would be in the vintage which we call the atomic age, because
Hmm.
from 1945, mid 1945, when the bomb dropped, up into basically pre-code. And I always go 54 is when the code came in, and then 55 is when the stamp starting appeared. If you're up in 50, if you're in 53 or 50, late 52 and 53, I call that pre-code. This also is pre-code, but the pre-code stuff just before the code came in is more pre-code to me, as opposed to also including the atomic age, but also golden age. And a lot of guys think golden age is from 1938 when Action 1 came out until September of 1954 when the Comic Book Code Authority came in, and they say that that is the golden age, that's the Wild West. Then the reins were put on everything, and you couldn't do this and you couldn't do that. Here is another Mexican version where the guy is stabbing her in the kidney.
Very cool.
Here is one where they got this little runt guy kick Tracy in the chops, and he's bleeding out of the mouth, and she's going to drop a heavy jade thing right on the top of his skull.
Now that's actually the first appearance.
Of Torturo Tacones.
Yeah,
And
whatever
he's
the
got,
English
and
name.
even though he's a little guy, He's got big tacones, I'll tell you that. Okay, here's Tracy again. Uh, this is issue number 18, and all hell's a poppin'. Tracy is ventilating a guy getting out of a car with his Thompson, like you do, and you got a guy taking a pot shot at him coming out of the sewer. The assassin of the skies, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This is it's just fun stuff. And inside, the colors, it's very, very much primary color stuff, because the way they printed comics then is that the technology they had was primary colors. And that's one of the reasons why they called four-color comics, because they basically had the spectrum of red, yellow, and blue and black. And white was the pages were white, the newsprint. And the newsprint back then was white because it was not recycled anything. And of course, now it's all cover stock, because even cover stock is cheaper than buying newsprint, even recycled newsprint. So here's another one. Tracy's got a dog grabbing this guy and ripping his chest open with his paw. And they got gas masks, and the guy's trying to shoot the dog, the police dog.
Wow. Pretty crazy stuff. I
And
think
so,
if the art was better, you know what I mean? It's kind of creaky.
oh,
It
but
would
you
be.
see, and again, ladies and gentlemen, this is the charm of Golden Age. This
Mm,
is when it was new. This is when it was happening. This is the incarnation that has been brought forward. I think that Tracy started in 1931, which is, of course, what
yeah,
I was talking
pretty
about, the
early. Yeah.
gangsters and stuff. And when I owned my Thompson, it was owned by a police department that they got it in 1934. And they were based in Pendleton because the Pendleton Roundup had a lot of money, and they were afraid that people were going to come in there and rob a whole bunch of the ranchers were for the big roundup of the cattle. And
Hmm.
so they had to have Thompsons, and that was my Thompson before I sold it. So here we
Hmm.
have Law and Order again. Law and Order. This is what it was, and that's
Oh,
why I like
Matt's giving us the actual date.
1931.
Yeah, October 4th. So yeah,
Okay, thanks,
and
Matt.
Sunday. It's like so precise. Okay, go ahead.
So in any event, here's another one uh, uh, where he gets basically shot through the ear, and his buddy
Oh,
already took a slug already,
wow.
and it's things look bad for Tracy.
I think Dick Tracy is public domain now. I
I would
think
be
so.
surprised if he I would be surprised if he wasn't. Here is Tracy's being dragged by a car. I don't know if it's Prune Face or one of those guys, Flat Top or one of those guys is dragging him.
Hmm.
And he's in deep trouble, and he's basically, and I don't know what he figures is going to happen. They're about ready to go over the cliff, and he's going to go with. So things look
You
bad for Tracy.
you should shoot the rope rather than at the car.
Well, and if it was Tracy, you could shoot, but he's trying to get the criminal first and then worry about himself second, because this is Dick Tracy.
Mm-hmm. But oh, they keep on like they're oh, it says oh, not until okay, not until sorry,
Not until
2028.
1928?
Yeah, then Dick Tracy becomes
Oh, public
public
domain.
domain. Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha. So here's another one where he's having a shootout at some radio station with a guy. I think that's Prune Face or one of them. The guy down below, his partner's been shot in the head. And he's bleeding out of the top of his head like a stuck pig. Uh, Tracy's already put one into this guy's shoulder and is basically going to solve the problem. And he's got another guy there shooting. Violence, criminals, paying the price.
Oh, so
Law.
Warren Beatty owns the rights to Dick Tracy.
Well, he sure did a lot with it, didn't he?
He really messed it up, actually.
Well, it was in the day. It probably made some money with Madonna as the
I
mystery
don't think it
person or
made any
whatever.
money. I
What a
don't think it did that well.
what a stink burger.
That
Here's
was a
another
bad move.
guy he's been fighting with Tracy, and his face is all ripped to pieces, bleeding out under his ear and his cheek, like ripped his jaw. This is the kind of stuff you get, and this is golden age stuff. This is atomic age, golden age, and this was like $35.
Hmm.
So, and especially, and I will tell you, this vendor in Mexico City was so nice. I bought about 8 or 9 or 10 of them from him over. And then what he did, I didn't even have to ask him. He merged all of the books from my orders into one order. He immediately refunded me the postage that I would have paid individually for all of these books, and then he gave me a slight break on the books themselves. A very, very good seller. Of course, the
Mm.
time it took for these to get to me took quite a while to get up here from sunny Mexico.
And
Here's a
if you look at them, they're actually quite high grade. I mean, they're quite
well,
solid looking.
they're read, but these books were made well. The
Hmm.
Golden Age books are made well, so I mean they hold up. The paper is of high quality because it was not expensive then. But look, this guy is basically he's got the girly tie on. You see that gives you very very much of the day. And
Hmm.
Tracy's missed his shoulder, and this guy's got a milk bottle that he's crashed and
And
wants
then
to
he's gonna
jam it,
stab him
crash
with
it
it.
right into his
Yeah.
skull.
Wow.
But he's in a tree house.
That's cool.
I hate him already.
That's the thing. They would always say that criminals would hide in your treehouse as a kid.
That's it in your backyard, honey. What is
Yeah,
that? We better check the tree house.
yeah. Hi, Mike.
Here is one. Here is one where instead of the concrete overshoes, what you got is they've got two girders and they've wired them together. One guy already is dead and bleeding out, being shot in the face, bleeding out. And this guy's going to go for a swim with Davy Jones' locker.
Wow. That seems like a very complicated way of doing it, but sure.
Well, you have time these days.
Because those girders are quite heavy.
Well, you see, this is they had it all planned out. So
You
anyway,
need like a
it's just
forklift to put them in
it's
the water.
great. It's great stuff. And this is my last Dick Tracy of
Okay.
this set of Dick Tracys. And this is another one where Tracy is actually in bondage. He's tied up under this table, and the whole house is going down in fire with him. And the implication is that Tracy has been. Uh, um, they show that he's corrupt, and they have all this money here to prove that he's corrupt. So they'll find the money and the ashes of the money that Tracy was the one that was guilty and was corrupt, and they kill him
Mm,
at the same time.
wow.
So killing him wasn't enough; they had to basically ruin his
Mm,
reputation at the same time. So
mm.
those are my Dick Tracys.
Very nice. Good start. Okay, so I'm going to show some crime because you showed crime. I feel like I have to now show crime.
Oh,
So,
you can show anything you want.
but I'll show some other stuff too. So actually, this one is probably the cheapest book that I'll show tonight because I got it for free. So, but even non-free version, you can get it under $50. This is Crime Does Not Pay. I actually really like this cover because you got the villains, shooting at the bad guy, other guys. Well, other bad guys is bad guys and bad guys. But they're just putting like holes all around them. I think that's really cool. So yeah,
That has
the
a
crime,
that has sort of a Saint Valentine's Day massacre
very much so.
kind of a
Yeah,
feel to it. Although that with that movie, where they broke out the Thompsons and says, "Oh boy."
yeah. So it's like this is a Charles Byro cover. I mean,
Oh
the interesting thing with Crimes Does Not Pay, majority of the issues in the run are pretty affordable. There are a
yes,
few that are expensive, like the girl with the candy, right? That one
the
is
ice
more
cream
expensive.
cone
Yeah,
pedophile. Yeah,
yeah,
ooh.
yeah. That one's a pretty pricey book,
Byros
but
is sick, and also that girl running down the street
the street
shooting
with
up the
the
the diner with
eye,
four guys dying.
yeah. But there are a few expensive ones, but majority, you can get them under $50 and reasonable grade too.
I did
Um,
too, and I have those. I have a big run of those I bought at the same time that are also, but I only have so much time to show them.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff to show. Um, Another one that you might not expect to be under $50 is this one. This is Foremost Comics. This is a LB Cole cover, and actually, it's one of his iconic images. This bird. He uses this bird on a few of other titles, like what's the one what's the one where it's Power Comics. Power Comics. He
Yes,
uses this
power.
bird on Power
Yes.
Comics.
Hmm.
Yeah.
He
Um,
draws the eagle beautifully. He really
yeah.
does.
and it has a little bit of his colors. On the Power one, it's much more so his style, where you see the kind of crazier colors. But this is still a cool cover with the quicksand, and it's Dick Cole in quicksand.
Very interesting.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I got this for like $35. Again,
very good.
it's LB Cole for $35. You can't go wrong.
Chonko, yes, the guy pushing the girl's head down onto the burner is one of those, but
Yeah,
that book is absolutely astronomically
that's more like a
expensive.
6,000 plus kind of book. Even in low grade, it's pretty pricey. But these are more affordable books. This is another LB Cole one. This is Smash Hit Sports. These sports ones, he did a bunch of them. Very affordable. Again, this is more like the $10 to $15 range. But it's classic LB Cole. So I always like when you can get like sort of the more famous artists, but affordably. So I like collecting LB Cole covers. I think he did like a million of them, but um, yeah. Another one that's kind of interesting, and this is probably something I don't think you brought any of these, but if you want to get Golden Age, but kind of fun Golden Age, you can get like a lot of the cartoon stuff.
I neglected to mention the well, I did say Popeye and the cartoony stuff
The cartoony
is,
stuff very affordable.
but is the cartoony stuff, even though it's very affordable, it's drawn beautifully. The way that they draw them, it is not.
Yeah.
You have quality guys, artists drawing these characters,
Hmm.
and but it's sort of jarring because you'll get something like this that Alan is showing you, and then right next to it comes a crime one or something like that, or there's a something happening. So
Hmm.
it's you really gotta. It was very much a anthology. Many of these are anthology type books. TikTok, though, I think is dedicated to the funny animal and
Yeah, it's
that
all
kind of
funny
thing.
animals. But around like the late '40s, funny animals was sort of the one of the dominant genres of comics as well. It was pretty big. You had like a whole bunch of titles for funny animals.
Yes, and that sort
Um,
of and the acceptance of the funny animal as a less severe genre also
mhm.
led to Archie and the teenage comics that also came on, which were entertaining but not super. And after the Second World War, they wanted entertainment, not guys fighting and flying around in tights.
Well, the funny thing is, and I'm not sure if you knew this, but a lot of the funny animal titles became good girl art titles later on. Like I think of Zoot and like a lot of the Fox ones that started
Yes.
out as funny animals, but then later became good girl art comics. So
Hmm.
actually, I have a bit of a soft spot for the funny animals for that reason because when I collect those good girl ones, I'm a completionist, so I actually end up having to pick up those earlier ones, which were funny animals. So yeah. But some superhero comics are actually affordable too, and I'm going to show you a series, Super Snipe, the very affordable series, except for one or two books in the title that are in crazy expensive, like 10,000 plus kind of level. There's a Super Snipe where he's throwing Hitler, Mussolini, and Stalin into the pit of hell. Like that's on the cover, and
That'll do something.
that book goes for crazy money. But the other books within the title are under $50 all day long. And you can get
Are
nice
boy
variants too.
comics under 50? Have you found many
Yes,
boy comics under
yeah,
50?
boy comics are easily under 50. It depends on which ones. The
Iron
funny thing is,
Jaw?
yeah, like some of the Iron Jaw stuff, the early boy ones are really expensive. Like sub 20, I guess would be considered fairly expensive. Like you can't, there's nothing under $50 there. Like you just
Okay.
won't. But later issues are much more affordable. It's all Charles Biro art or what's his name? The Japanese guy, Fujitani.
Fujitani?
Yeah, Fujitani covers are really cheap and they're
Well,
quite
Bob
well done. They're
Fujitani is an outstanding artist.
he
He
his
worked for
covers are
MLJ.
amazing.
Yeah.
And,
He
like
did a
they're all
lot of
painted
Hangman.
covers. Yeah, a
Yeah.
lot of really great painted covers. And these ones are kind of fun. Like these super snipes are actually quite cute because you got like him imagining, right? He's like telling his sister and she's like playing with the little bear And look,
You've
he's
dropped your you've neglected your headline. What is the headline about Super Snipe? Right on the cover. Read it.
okay. Boy with the most comic books in America. Yeah,
There you go. Now there you go.
that's his thing. So his imagination comes from reading comics, and then he imagines all these kind of stories, right?
Yeah,
So
cool.
um, I actually want to look this one up, but I almost feel like this one. I forgot what this is. It's a key of some kind, and I want to say it's like one of the last Matt Baker covers or Matt Baker interiors, I should say. I think that's right. This is Black Hawk number 63.
Did he do work for Quality?
I think it's either I want to say Matt Baker, but it might. I think it is Matt Baker. Um,
Did he do work for
I have to
Quality?
look
I
this
thought he
up.
was at St. John during this time.
I have to look it up. So I
Okay.
forgot what it is. There is some key about this book. This book again under that $50 range.
But look at that cover. You've
It's a really
got
cool cover too.
look at this. Now, war covers, war and combat covers also can be available
Very
for
affordable.
under $50. And
And
the
some really
world
crazy ones too at that.
well, in the and Ellen is absolutely right. The Korean war covers, which
Hmm.
this is because it's jets,
Yeah, this
are
is Korean War.
incredibly more brutal
I
than
mean,
the
you can see,
actual
look at
World
the
War
bullets
II
are kind
ones.
of
Well,
smashing through the
they
glass,
show the guys getting killed.
and yeah, it's crazy. And you seem to always pick up ones where the guy's getting shot in the mouth. So,
I got those from Bigby McFly, and he brought there were like a half a dozen books where the North Koreans or the Red Chinese guys in Korea, they're always getting
mhm.
shot right in the mouth. I mean,
So
brutal.
I'm going to show one more Super Snipe.
Snooper
This
snipe?
Super Snipe. This one's actually kind of interesting because he's reading Shadow Comics in the corner there. And Super Snipe actually made his first appearance in Shadow Comics as a character.
Hmm.
And Super Snipe is actually, it's one of those ones that has sort of been lost to time, right? It's not like one that people would know nowadays, but it was a really long running series.
Is this Street and then that would make this
This
Street
is
and
Street and
Smith?
Smith. Street and Smith.
Okay,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
dig. Yeah,
Yeah. It's underrated. Underrated. Definitely a
that's a
cool one.
cool book. Good Lord.
And then we got some Exposed. And there's even a Sodi book that's in Exposed that's fairly affordable, I'd say. Like it's not like under 50, but it's like, like under 100, maybe to $200 range.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, actually I like this one. You got the guy getting whacked on the back of the head. You got the girl stealing from the till. I don't know, like it's the biggest till ever though. Like look at the size of the
Yeah,
till.
good Lord.
Yeah, it's just so this is Exposed number 3. Another series, very affordable. Like this one I think is under $20 kind of level. It's not the highest grade, but um this is one of those ones where I've seen Night Tiger do it. See how it's got like the staining? You
Mm.
know, the I've seen it where you can actually put it in water and
Yeah,
it'll
and you can
actually
get it out. Yes, you can.
wash that off.
But
Yeah.
you got to know your business to do that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna mess with it. I'm not gonna like, oh, let's put it in the water. Um,
I think that Mark Oldroyd, with his engineering and chemical engineering degrees,
mhm,
that is a person who can do that and has done that very successfully indeed.
yeah. Oh, he's he has the collected edition of Super Snipe. That's cool. Okay, and I'm gonna show actually just a couple more. I'll show a few more. Um, Another one, very cool cover, very affordable. You can
Fawcett.
even see how much I paid for it. I paid $33 Canadian. That's
Wow.
like how many pennies is that in US? I don't know.
I know it's under $10, isn't it?
Yeah, it's roughly like $20. So yeah. I mean, but really cool kind of sci-fi cover. Captain Midnight. I actually saw a bunch of Captain Midnights, very affordable, very cool covers. And
MT is in the chat, Matthew,
oh hey,
and
MT.
he does some of the that work himself. He's very gifted at that,
Yeah, not for the
and
faint of heart. Yeah.
when we have our auctions, he will talk about that very thing, and so very knowledgeable. Cleaning and pressing is one thing, but
Mhm.
for the really profoundly challenged books to be fixed. You have to. He's absolutely right. Not for the faint of heart.
Yeah. Um, okay. I'm gonna show one second. I just want to make sure I keep it all together. Okay. So the next one is another one. This is just personally something I like. This, I like judo covers, and this is another foremost. And she's just doing a Pensée Inagi, which is
Is
kind
she
of
doing
cool.
it correctly? You
Um,
gave it a thumbs up.
I gave it a thumbs up. Yeah. Um, mm, Not really.
Is
It's
it
more
hard
like
to draw it
it's more like
correctly?
that.
Is it harder to draw? Is it harder to draw something
It
like
would
that
just look
correctly?
weird. It's one of those throws that would look weird to draw correctly. So it's like the way she's doing it over the shoulder is kind of wrong. You don't quite do it quite on the shoulder itself. You do it more like on the lower shoulder, and then usually you do it where you kind of lock it like the arm is locked in here, like you. So it's like here's the grip, like
Hmm.
so
Don't mess with Alan, folks.
yeah, it's not quite right. It's not quite right. I'd say it's a little high, and that's why he actually. The funny thing is, this is actually drawn correctly. I've seen people throw it this way, where this is what it'll look like. The guy will kind of spin off on the side, and that's what he's kind of doing. If you do it correctly, he won't spin off on the side. He'll go over more correctly. so
Fair
it's,
enough.
so
And what is the what
it's
is the
actually
term?
correct by the way. It's
What
what
is the Japanese term for that or Chinese
ippon
term?
ippon, which means
Okay.
one. Seinagi. So it one means one shoulder throw.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
So yeah, very it's
Wow, international. Look at that.
yeah, yeah. So a
Do
judo flip.
Koreans do a lot of judo?
Yeah,
Do
but they don't call it judo. They call it yudo, and they almost deny that it's Japanese. it's
Oh
it's
God.
it's really funny. So it's like when I was doing judo in Korea, the whole time I'm like using Japanese terms, and they were getting mad at me. They would be like, "No, it's blah blah blah." It's like, so it's like, okay, okay. And then when I
Whatever.
did, I later on went to a Japanese school to do judo, and they would get mad at me. It was like, "Oh, you're doing it the Korean way," and I just couldn't win no matter where I went. So yeah, but that's my judo career. Um, but yeah. So okay, so you can go next.
Fair
Um,
enough. So I placed an order when I went on to eBay, and I did this search with the Golden Age, and then lowest first, and then I found a lot, and it was 17 books for $170 is what it was. So all of
170.
these,
That's really cheap, by the way.
and I looked them over in the pictures very carefully. I said, "Geez, these look, they're four and a halves and fives anyway."
Hmm.
And which is very presentable. But these all start. This is the earliest one, and this starts in 1948. And Kerry Drake was sort of the Dick Tracy of Harvey. And one of the things about it is he had this. The covers are interesting for several reasons. One is because they always would have the the actual typeface was very good. The lettering was very good, and you'd get this white with
Yeah,
blue.
it's actually quite easy to
And
read.
it sets it out. It basically makes the cover pop. Now, one of the reasons why, or the primary reason why, you always get books, or very very often get books that look like this, is because on the newsstands, how these were being sold back, and this was in 1948, what they would do is they would have this rack, and they would have the title. In other words, the book
They
that's
want
in
to make
front
it
of this
prominent so people can
goes
see it.
right
Yeah.
up into the to where the picture begins. So the title that's below this comes in just below it. So you'll have something like this. If you have two of them, this is how they will sit in the rack. And so
Hmm.
what they do is they have the banner. They have the nice rack. But that's how they did it. That's why you have the large trade dress in this manner. So anyway,
Yeah, I agree, Spittle Chips. He has amazing books. I don't know. He always seems to find the highest grade copies.
I'm sorry.
It's disgusting.
Why are you doing this? But listen, this was a random thing that I did because I just wanted to take a shot, not necessarily for $10 books, but I wanted to take a shot and see just exactly what was going on because the market, there's been
Mhm,
quite a lot of talk about golden age books now, about people wanting to buy golden age books. And
mhm.
I completely understand it. And this is the whole thrust of this show today is to show that rather than spend like $10, like I'm paying $10 for these a piece,
Mhm.
you pay $25 for a variant cover of a modern book.
Well, you could pay
And
$10 just for just the cover price for a
for
book
just the
now.
regular, and then if it's a variant or if it's a ratio, they just put the screws to you.
Yeah.
And so, but these and all of these books have survived. So if you want to go and look and do what I did, this sort of stuff, this was random, but it just showed up. Kerry is explaining to this guy. If you ever saw that movie with was it Jean Claude Van Damme? Who was it that I think it was where he broke Howard Sil or De
Oh, broke his
Silva's
arm like in the
arm the
yeah.
opposite way, where he busted it the opposite way, he's screaming and stuff.
Hmm.
Well, Kerry Drake is doing it now. We got a babe in the sack too.
Oh, cool. So yeah, there are a few Kerry Drakes that are actually pretty pricey. There's like a few in the title. There's one where it's like this elaborate shot that they're doing to the person. I have it, but it's not a $50 book. Oh, that's really interesting. Is that like a fortune
Exposed
teller?
the fake mystic racket and the star and the crescent, and the guy looks like a chicken, doesn't he?
It looks kind of a little
Doesn't
bit
he look
odd.
like a chicken? But it's the star and the crescent.
Very interesting.
That is the symbol of my fraternity, Kappa Sigma, is the star and the crescent.
Oh, really?
But the star and the crescent came out of Italy, um, not
I
out
always think
of
of the star and crescent as being like Turkish or something like that.
Arabia. Well, the same thing, but ours it actually came out of Italy, and it
Hmm.
was very much like the. It was very much like anyway. So here we go. We're still going. She's loading stuff into the furnace. She's burning the money, and
Hmm.
Granny is not happy with it.
Looks like she's getting shot at by Granny.
She's about ready to lower the boom on the brunette or on the noirette,
Hmm.
and Kerry Drake is coming in to save the day. What is it?
Hmm.
Hairy looking light fixture above his head. What is that?
I have no idea what that
Looks
is.
like a tongue that you stuck into ashes or something. In this
Oh, it might
case,
be the hinges. It's the hinge of the
oh,
door.
it's the hinges popping. Very, very good. Thank you.
Yeah,
If I could open my eyes. Ace Detective proves crime can't win because someone already had crime doesn't pay. The
yeah.
weed of crime bears bitter
That
fruit.
that crime does not pay thing was used on so many different things. Like,
And it was a fig leaf to show the most horrific stuff. And at the end, they show everything awful and breasts and
yeah,
guns and blood and everything else. And then at the end, they say, "See, kids, crime
crime does.
doesn't pay. This is educational." And of course, the fig leaf is that they're showing everything they're not supposed to show. And then they put the fig leaf on the end, and then the criminal gets hanged or something. Granny's got a gun. Hey, do 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 do.
Do you know?
Granny's
No,
got
you
a
know that
gun.
song? Jenny's got a gun. Yeah.
Here we go. We're still at $10 a throw. All of these, as I said, are between 1948 and 1952.
Wow. I mean, it's a
The,
pretty great run to get. Like, I mean, the fact that you got 17 copies from this one run. I don't even know how many
and in
Carrie
the
Drakes
sweet
there are.
spot, and definitely in the sweet spot of,
Hmm.
of the atomic age, the golden age with the superheroes and the I won't say rigid, but the very superheroes, boom, 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 superhero, 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 different superheroes, gangs of superheroes, groups of societies of superheroes. And then when the war ended, then when the guys came back from the war, a lot of them just very young men. Um, what you had a market crying for different entertainment, and so the atomic age to me is the richest time to buy stuff. I mean, I already a golden age too. Don't get me wrong. I like Both of them have lots to recommend them. Now, Fiction House, on the other hand, during the war, is just like the Atomic Age because they've got girls and they've got good girl covers and they've got wild, fantastic covers. Fiction House does right straight through, and the interior art is beautiful. But after the war, then you start to get pre-code horror, you get science fiction, you get good girl, and then you westerns, and you get these kinds of things, detectives. And then what happens is when the good girl thing kind of petered out, when it kind of hit the wall about late 48 going into 49, they still had stuff, but too many words inside the books. What happened was they shot the good girl stuff all into every other genre. So you've got science fiction babes and damsels in distress. You have pre-code horror that has all these women in really deep, deep, deep trouble, burned at the stake and water wheeled and on the rack and every other way you can think of it, really. And then you have a lot of creepy kind of mystery books and stuff like that. There's just a lot of really fantastic Atomic Age stuff because of the different genres. Here we go. Here is Kerry Drake's dog. He must have borrowed him from Tracy. That this gal is going to stick a shiv right in the back, and presumably Kerry Drake is he coming in the door? I think Kerry might be the guy
Or is that a
pretending to be.
blind man's
He's
dog?
pretending to be the blind guy, and his seeing eye dog, a police dog, grabs her by the wrist as she's trying to bring the knife down and stab him in the back,
Wow.
like they do.
Um. By the way,
Only
Callie,
a
my
blind
daughter
man
reads
and his.
Chainsaw Man too.
It says here, only a blind man and his seeing eye dog, seeing, they even dropped the G, seeing eye dog, uh, stood between this ruthless killer and her freedom. She had killed before. Can Kerry Drake stop her from committing another murder? And he says, drop it, Vixen, or we'll shoot. There's guys behind him, too. So it's over for her.
Hmm. But the seeing eye dog is actually doing quite well.
He's doing very well. This is one of the ones you like in Kerry Drake. This is one where he's
Yeah.
bound and he basically blasts the guy right in the chin.
That's a good one.
This is, and it says, read the thrilling event mystery, the case of the dope smugglers. So you got that going for you. So this guy's a dope smuggler. What's he got in his hand? He's got a belt with a buckle, and he's basically pummeling him.
Hey, Halia.
Hi, Nate. Nate lucked out. You guys check out his post today on YouTube. He got an A-OK that is so right up his street beyond any measure of the Dazzler, and the Dazzler has his face and all of the nut bar stuff that he enjoys and takes great joy in. We'll probably maybe get a guest shot of that on Friday. Presumably we will. So you want to watch us Friday. But this is one of the good ones too. And again, look at the shade of blue. I mean, it's just really, really bright and stands out.
Mm.
Here is another one. Well, this is the guy coming through the dog door? What's going on? Oh, no, he's coming in the staircase. Okay.
Yeah, and it looks like she's pickpocketing him. Or...
Yeah, she's basically face the window and lean against it, Mr. K, or I'm afraid I'll have to shoot you.
Yeah, she's taking his gun away or something. Or is that his
now,
gun?
This is the case of the secret treasury agent.
Oh, nice.
So we got the feds involved.
Wow. And these are all Harvey, right?
What's that?
These are all Harvey, right?
These are all Harvey, yeah.
Yeah.
They say it's Harvey Comics, and it's got the red H. That's the and I think that sometimes they mystery hit. So I don't know how they organized everything, but they put all the numbering and stuff tiny in the corner. This is number 21 from August.
What's going
Drake's
on one?
Say again?
What's going on this one?
These guys evidently, let's see, armed with the latest scientific devices, Alan. The latest scientific devices. Looks like they just have on goggles or something.
Yeah, it's like...
A ruthless gang of criminals blaze a hot trail of murder and robbery in a desperate attempt to evade justice. This is murder on record, and evidently we have waxies that are going on here. Southern Belle, Disc Jockey,
Oh,
and Drake's
weird.
secretary Sandy Burns.
Huh.
And there's the kind of geekerific driver guy. Looks like it's got
Yeah.
suicide doors too, the way the door opened, where they're
Hmm.
crawling in there with their super science. Look at this. What the hell does that? What does it do? What do those things
I
possibly
don't know.
do?
I don't
They
know.
don't
That's what I
open
was trying to
doors.
figure
What
out.
what what are they supposed to do? I mean, it's daylight. Okay, you have to read the book to find out. But it's fun.
Yeah,
Look at the
he looks like
colors
a
on this
total
stuff.
dweeb driving.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
dweeb. They got the dweeb behind the wheel. Drive the car, Percy, or we're gonna blow you away. I don't want to do it. Oh yes, you are. This one's really cool. I was noticing this one when I was sleeving it up. Um, this has a whole bunch of the villains that he has, the cast of characters that he has that are the ones that he runs up against in the series. So you have now this I'm going to have to because this is small print here. I have to read the small print, Alan. Oh
Uh-oh.
God. Um, we got there's Bottleneck. There's Dr. Prey. That was that little bird looking guy that was
The
the
driver?
Swami case, right?
Oh, okay. The Swami guy. Okay.
There's No Face.
It's
There's
weird that they put the villains all around him like that.
Bullseye. Then we got Kid Gloves, Ecstasy. Well, that's promising. Here we got Meatball, Frisco. We got Vixen, and we got Torso. We got Mother Whistler. I hear someone coming to the door with my books.
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
Yep. We got we got Zero. We got Stitches. We got Mossy Green. We got Daryl Turner. That's the geek that was driving the car. We got Fingers and we got Shut Eye. Angel Puss is on top. So where Tracy had prune face and flat
Yeah.
top and
Hmm.
the dead guy or whatever, I mean all these other gruesome and all those other ones.
Some weird
Kerry Drake
characters.
had his own adjective core of villains.
Hmm.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah,
Ten
it's really
bucks.
cool.
Ten
Yeah.
dollars.
You can't go
Where
wrong
can
with
you spend
$10.
where can you spend $10 like that?
Hmm.
Evidently on eBay. So here we got this little
Hi,
Weasley
Rod.
guy. Hello, hi Norn. I got a beautiful Catwoman piece of art that he created for me on church yesterday,
Oh,
and
nice.
he had come on early, and I was there early, and so he had a blank piece of paper because I was saying I hope that Aaron can come and because he's drawn before, and so I said, could you do a commission for me? And he said sure, and so I said, can you do Catwoman for me? And so he did Catwoman, and so the entire 4 hours that we had on church, which is great because there's time, we watched the thing actually be created as we were doing it. And when he was done, it turned out so beautifully. And
Oh,
so then
nice.
I asked for one more before he sends that one. I won't tell you what it is, but I will show you when I
Oh,
get him.
okay. So a bit of a surprise coming up later.
I have a surprise. So
Mm.
here's the case of No Face, the case of the No Face. And here's a hidden dictograph. See that? It isn't even a tape recorder. It's one of those wire recorders, right?
Hmm. Wow.
Blackmailer's secret weapon. Things look bad for Kerry Drake. It's amazing he has issues after that, don't you think? One over the top, cute looking gal on this one. Plus they have red where they have this yellow little scenes going on around the bubble. If you can see, guy up there shooting down from a pole. Cool stuff. The Blackmailer's trap. Complete. Complete in this issue. I've got a few more and then that's all I have. Here's a good one. This was the one that I had before. I had found one that I had purchased a while ago. But you got the pretty gal with the feathers and the fancy. And Carrie comes in and solves the pretty boy killer. He's going to try to kill her. And he's coming in to solve the problem there. in his gabardine suit, or looks almost like corduroy or something. You sure hear him coming if he's walking. Voo, 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 voo.
I'm back. That was weird. I got kicked out of my own stream.
You were kicked out of your own stream?
Yeah.
Good heavens.
So that was weird. That was I was like, what's going on here? I'm like,
Wow.
yeah. Okay. So I'll go
I
back
have
to
just
you. Yep.
I have 5 more. And we're making good time, Alan.
Yep. Yep.
So this is the one I think Alan was one of the ones they're talking about where
So I
they're
think I actually stole this one from your cart. I think you tried to get this one from my comic shop and I bought it before you.
Yes, you did. And but I ended up only paying $10 for this one.
I know, I think I paid like 20 or 30 bucks for my copy. So
Still under $50 though.
yes. Yeah,
Still
yeah,
under
yeah.
$50 and
I thought that
even
was a
at 30.
steal too. I thought
No,
that
no,
was a
even
steal.
at $35, this is a steal. But look at this.
I love this one. This is like you got
Kerry
the girl
Drake
in
rides a
red
rough
dress.
road in his pursuit of the auto theft ring. The case of the perfumed killer, complete in this issue yet again. None of that two-parter crap.
Yeah, I just like the fact that he's doing the, shooting behind him and like she's in bondage in red dress. It's just like
Well, the
so many
chat can't
classic
get
things.
over the Dick to phone. I know that. Because we're that kind of a classy outfit around here.
Hi, Brian.
Hello, Brian. So here we got, what in the hell's going on here? We got a wheelchair like it looks like a 1920s wheelchair.
Oh, okay. So Kerry Drake 45 is the first appearance of Meatball Mario.
I don't
Hot
have
stuff.
I don't go up I don't go all the way up to Meatball Mario. I stop at issue number 31. I go from issue 9 hit and miss up to 31.
uh,
So anyway, we got this. Look out, she's going to hit the rocks. If I don't stop her, she'll be killed. Can Carrie stop the crippled, what's her name? The crippled Messy Bessie. That doesn't sound promising,
it
does it?
sounds weird.
Messy. I'm going to make sure about this. Messy Bessie.
I don't know.
No one wants to hang around Messy Bessie. Messy Bessie from certain death. Read the shocking expose in the case of the frozen clue. Jackpot decides to kill Messy Bessie for her $25,000 prize money that she won. He knocks her out and sets the murder trap. Sun will melt the ice. The hot sun melts the ice and Bessie's fate is sealed. So he I don't know why he didn't just plug her and be done with it, but he puts her with
She's
it.
like in a wheelchair, and he's like
Yeah.
gonna like.
And so he's got this ice, and then it melts, and then it lets go, so he isn't around, and then he takes the money, and then okay, isn't that great?
It's a really complicated way of killing somebody, but okay, I'll just
Well,
go with it.
it's all real.
It's all real.
I have to do it right.
Okay. Oh yeah, you have to the reporter style. Yeah.
Drama. I gotta give it drama.
Mm.
Okay, we got the stolen sapphire. And I think this guy's name is Sweaty.
He looks sweaty.
Can Kerry Drake trap a crook with a glittering gem for bait? And the answer is probably yes.
Mm. That's actually a cool. I actually like that cover. Even
Thank you. Isn't that fun?
Something. It's kind of cute in a way. It's like this sweaty guy just sort of shooting him.
Yeah. Hey, Sweaty, shut up. Complete in this issue yet again the case of the $1 million lipstick. What could it be? And this clown is not happy with Blondie.
Now that's actually one of those like weird things that people collect. These ones where somebody's getting smacked, like usually a woman getting smacked on the cover.
Yes.
I have a few in my collection.
They for $10, you can't, and you get a whole book of this stuff. The art inside is good. The art inside is not cheese. The art inside is good. I will say this about Harvey. Harvey had good stuff. Harvey had some good pre-code horror. It's surprising, and it turned into Wendy and Caspa and hot stuff and spooky. They kind of had
parallel for a little while.
Yeah, they were parallel for a while, but Harvey's got some wild stuff.
Oh yeah.
Even back into the Golden Age, Schomburg did some covers for them.
Yep.
And the last one I have, this is issue number 31. Geez, this looks like a VF. Wow. Um, in the case of Murder Syndicate, Kerry Drake, the ticking of a million clocks marks time and death for Kerry Drake in the Punchboard Caper. And there's a guy down below that's been shot in the chest a couple times.
That's a really
And
cool.
then the
There's
bad
lots of
cat
stuff going
that's
on.
sort of the immigrant or whatever is going on, and he's a bad cat.
You know
And
what's
she's been
interesting? There's not that many blood covers in the Golden
they
Age,
are there are
but
here.
there is there right there.
Yeah, USA 17 is the one where Cap runs the spear right through the guy's chest, blood
Yeah.
coming out the back. That's an amazing cover, a USA
Hmm.
17. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's my $170 purchase, and
Not bad.
so that Golden Age is accessible and fun stuff can be had. So don't believe all the thing about that. There are expensive books, but think of it this way: there are expensive books, really expensive books in the Silver Age too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If you like collecting Sugar and Spike, I mean, you're not going to pay or Little Jinx or any number of different books in the
They're
Silver Age.
affordable.
You've got books coming out of Charlton. You've got books coming out of your eyes. Dell, my God, Dell. If you want to buy books
I know.
inexpensively, there are more Dells. My friend David
I've
Alexander
showed
once.
so many Dells over the years. I feel like I can't show any. I can't show those. I feel like that would be a cheat because you can get actually first appearances under
Yes,
$50, which is
that's
so
it.
crazy to me.
My friend Dave Alexander, that has done this for many, many years, DTA Collectibles, has done this for decades and decades. Great guy. And he said, I said, how do you come up with this stuff? He says, well, let me tell you this. And every time, if someone has a box of books and I buy the box of books, there
Hmm.
are going to be Dell books inside that box, as well
Yeah.
as the other stuff. There will be Dells. There will be Dells, and expect that the Dells will be there. The Dells survived because mothers didn't throw them away, and they were well-made comic books.
Hmm.
And there's a lot of good Dells that you can buy that are really great too.
And they're
Uh,
usually pretty cheap, like
and
five to ten
they're
dollars.
reasonably priced, and
Yeah.
they're painted covers. You look at Magnus and Turok and some of these Dr. Solar. I mean, any number of those are really great. But back to Golden Age. But this is the
Hmm.
kind of stuff that you can get if you take a look and find what you like. And instead of buying new Drek that doesn't really go very far or hold up its value, this is stuff that's held up its value, and you're paying what the actual value of the book is,
Yep.
as opposed
Uh,
to this hyped up stuff, where, wow, Wolverine has one bone claw in with all the leather of the adamantium. This is a rare book, rare.
and it goes like a
75
couple
bucks
thousand.
raw.
It's
You're
more
going,
than that.
shut up.
I'm
And
gonna
and they're
show.
so thin now, Alan, they're so thin now that you could almost slide, they're pamphlets. They're not comic books anymore. They're
Uh,
pamphlets.
yeah, they're
And
very
half
quick
of
to
it's
read.
ads, and they don't put any dialogue, and they have like 7 or 8 pictures. I mean, everything's a pinup. No, it's different. It's cover buys anymore, and
Hmm.
I will buy covers, and it's just what Mark Oldroyd said. It's fractional art, and that's what it
Hmm.
is. You're buying a beautiful piece of art, beautiful Dan Parent cover. All right,
Hmm.
a beautiful cover, and inside there's just not much doing.
Hmm.
I
So
know I
yeah,
sound old, and by the way, Alan, get off my lawn.
yeah, exactly. Okay, I'm just gonna show my last round as well, and then we'll end it. So I wanted to show some a title that actually you can get a lot of books that are under $50. Um, ACG is the company, and a lot of their books you can pick up really cheap. There are a few expensive ones, obviously, but some of the pre-code horror really quite pricey. But Cookie is a kind of a fun title. This is the not this book in particular, but this title is where Veronica came from, and that's a character I really like. And we got some more Cookie. This one's kind of cute with the dog licking his face and smile
That's
Cookie.
it's cute. I
It's
like
really
it.
cutesy. I really like the artwork
The
actually.
funniest kid in town is Cookie. The funniest kid doesn't look like he thinks it's so funny though.
Hmm.
What is he? 3'4"?
I don't know. He looks really tiny. Like she's sitting down and she's like the same height as him. Hi, oh, hi upstate. So yeah, so just a cool one. And then I just think these cookies have really cute, kind of good girl art covers, and he's about to shoot the guy in the nose because he's he's like waving to the girl. I think that's really cute. It's just fun stuff. These are
It's
not
fun
expensive.
stuff. Alan, listen to yourself. It's fun stuff. The guy's got a revolver up the guy's nose. It's
Yeah,
fun. It's
yeah,
just
yeah,
kind of fun.
yeah,
MT Matthew says, polymer inked modern comics are unable to capture the magic of Silver and Golden Age inked covers. You're absolutely
yeah, yeah.
right.
And this one's, this is nice.
His
I like the
mouth is
good
a
girl.
heart. His mouth is a heart.
His mouth is a heart, and it's a cute one. He's like all excited to
Who
have.
does that? Who is that guy? Who does that guy remind you of? Is that sort of like Mutt and Jeff kind of thing?
Not really. No, I wouldn't say Mud and Jeff. I don't like Mud and Jeff. I'm not
I
a
don't
big fan.
either. It's
But
boring stuff.
I don't know. I can't read the name that who did it.
Pat the
Can you read
Brat
that?
says knives. I agree with you. It looks like Pat the Brat.
What's the guy's
Ish.
name?
It looks like it says Ish Kabibble.
Yeah, something like that. I have no idea. And then another good girl art series that's very affordable, and this is from Quality, is Candy. Now, some of the Candy covers are really awesome. There is one expensive one, the robot
Is
cover.
that the robot? Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
great
that
cover.
that's a really expensive book. But
Yeah.
but you can get these other ones like $30 or less. Um, you can see I paid like $15 Canadian for this one,
Wow.
and he's
Is
like,
Candy the girl? I'm assuming Candy is the girl,
Candy's the
right?
girl. Candy's the girl, and
I
then
don't know if I don't know if I like Candy very much.
she's like really abusing her boyfriend. And I think
The payback better be good. That's all I know. My
I've
goodness,
seen a
Alan,
lot
you
of cool.
frozen. Alan, you frozen. You froze like Matt. Alan is frozen. Doody doody doo. How long will he be frozen? Doody doody doo. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is good stuff. This is live television, like you always like to hear. This is live television. When you bought me this hammock, you should have remembered we have only one tree, so it's your fault. So let that be a lesson to you. Let that be a lesson to you. Alan is at some point will have to de-thaw and join us back here in the land of the living. He is transported into the Phantom Zone. He's hobnobbing with General Zod and with Mon-El. They're trying to figure it out, what's going on, and all the various other villains and stuff that are there. But he's Alan's been talking about wanting to find. Oh, there he goes. Well, he was talking about wanting to go to Kandor. I said, why do you want to go to Kandor? He says, because Kandor is the coolest place in the world, is Kandor. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to be here. I have a lot of my raw Marvel Monsters up here, which is another great one. These lunch boxes are from Ed Craze, and Good Guy for auctions and what have you. And that's fun. And that's Monty's 850-ounce cup for coffee so that I don't have to go up and down the stairs to get my coffee anymore. And I don't want to use it. I don't want to sully it with coffee. I want to just leave it because it's a great display. But the one that I have here is this one. I just really love this one. Hi, welcome back. I
my
like
internet
this.
just failed. That's what happened there.
Okay, but all I was going to say is this one here. I was vamping while you
I
disappeared.
know, yeah.
This one is the scariest thing. Like the kid always says, is that there's a monster at my window. There is a monster at my window, and there it
Is
is.
there?
And he froze again. I'll tell you later. Again, live television. A few Golden Age Henry Aldrich. Henry Aldriches are good. I have that green cover one with the girls trying to push him into the drink. That's fun. Yeah, the giant monster hiding around the corner, and of course, totally Kirby, and they always have. It's amazing he has actually 5 fingers. Usually it's 3 to have that for the monster at the window. But a lot of these anthology Marvels, I really do think that the Marvel monsters have a place and are on the come. And if anything happens where people all of a sudden really wake up to just how charming they are, I really believe that there is very, very low supply of these around. And a lot of guys, there I know several collectors are trying to pick these up on the QT. But they're really, and the interior stories are really fun too. They really are. And then, of course, when the supers came in, then and there he went away. I one of the best Schomburg covers ever, and this is where my logo comes from. My what do you call it? My avatar.
Wow. Okay.
Man.
My internet is driving me crazy.
Okay, Alan. I'll let you wind us here.
I think we should wind it down just because my internet's saying we're done.
You're done.
I actually had some
You're
pretty cool
done.
books to show, but we'll have to show them some other day.
We'll show them Friday
Okay,
or
well, I'll show
next
them
Monday.
Friday. I'll show them either. Yeah, we'll find some time to show them. Okay, well, thanks everyone for hanging out. I'm sorry that my internet just failed me. It was like, and it's
Sorry,
failing me again.
Adrift. We're on the way out.
We're on the way out adrift, just because my internet is not working. But I appreciate everyone that came. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thank you
Thank you,
for
Stephen.
coming. You
Okay,
bet.
bye guys. Bye guys.
See you later.